I'm going to address what seems like a controversial topic to a lot of people in church, to the point that it has become a weird taboo thing. In 2nd Nephi, chapter 5, verse 21, we read the following. And he had caused the cursing to come upon them, yea, even a sore cursing, because of their iniquity. For behold, they had hardened their hearts against him, that they had become like unto a flint. Wherefore, as they were white and exceedingly fair and delightsome, that they might not be enticing unto my people, the Lord God did cause a skin of blackness to come upon them. A flint is a very dark stone. I know there are theories put forth by church apologists about what it means to be white and delightsome, or black and loathsome. Some have said they are idiomatic expressions. For example, once in a blue moon is an idiom. To bite the bullet is another idiom. So with that out of the way, I am going to suggest that Nephi, who always spoke, taught, and prophesied in plainness, repeatedly mentioned how he gloried in plainness so that his people could easily understand him. That's not to say that the scriptures are not full of idiomatic expressions. When certain people became utterly wicked, God sent a flood to wipe them out, regardless of their ethnicity. When a people became depraved beyond tolerance, God rained down fire and brimstone, like he did with Sodom and Gomorrah. Their ethnicity didn't matter. Their behavior mattered. The Canaanites were wiped out by the Israelites, who took over their land of inheritance, regardless of their ethnicity. The Jews were swept off and scattered by the Assyrians because they were wicked, not because they were Jews. So when the Lamanites became wicked, it was not beyond God's ability to increase the amount of melanin in their skins. That didn't change their ethnicity. It didn't change their race. They were still Lamanites. They were still Lehi's children. They were still descendants of Joseph. To plug that Joker meme that has been popularized on the internet, God rained sulfur and fire down upon Sodom and Gomorrah, and no one bats an eye. But God changes the color of the Lamanite skin, and everyone loses their minds. I am over 50% indigenous American. That's 50. And when I spend too much time out in the sun, as I used to when I was a general contractor building houses, my skin would become very dark. Then when winter hit with very little sun, the melanin in my skin decreased and returned to this lighter tone. My chest never saw the sun, but my neck and my face always did, and so they got shades darker. My sisters are much more fair-skinned than I am. That doesn't mean that my ethnicity is different than my sisters. Mainstream media has warped people's perceptions of reality. Anyway, I'm not going to tell you that my theory is the absolutely correct one. I am simply suggesting one obvious possibility, and it does not make God a racist. People are so concerned about racism that it affects their perception of God's justice. Then they justify themselves by rejecting God and abandoning their weak faith. So regardless of whatever theory you have, stop having weak faith. Strong faith is evidenced by your diligence in keeping God's commandments, the greatest of which is to love God and also to love your neighbor as yourself.